tour was lit as fuck. Like I was like, when I first started making music, I always tell people like my one goal with music is to like travel, see the world. So basically, like if I could tour off my music, like I won already in life. And like me and my homies put our tour together, and we had 2 shows in New York, 2 shows in Ohio, a show in Detroit, a show in Salt Lake City, a show in Denver, and a show in LA. And I would say my favorite memory of it was definitely the Dayton show, just because there were so many people that like friends, family, like me, my dad and my stepmom were in there. Like that was just weird and crazy, and it was a great time for real. Me, one of my homies, Lord Vice, and then this group they're all from Dayton, except for one of them is from New York. His name is Tsunami. The group is called Bad Jeans. They were the headliners. So Bad Jeans is the group. It was the Bad Trip tour. And then we shot a documentary just documenting the whole entire tour. And then we also, we literally rented an RV, traveled the country. We made a project, like we were recording songs the whole time we were on the road. And then we had my boy Drew shooting and just doing the documentary. So sometime in July, I would say the first week of July will be the project. And then like 2-3 weeks after that, the documentary will be dropping. I say I've always been into music, like ever since I was a kid, just like MTV videos, like Source magazine, shit like that. But like how I got into like making music and being a part of it is when I was in high school, I used to try to be a DJ, and I kind of just got away from that and eventually started making my own music and putting it out. And ever since I put out my first song, I just kept making music and putting it out, really. Like I didn't start making music until I was 18 was the first song I ever made. And I would say up until that point, I always had, the reason I wanted to be a DJ first is because I'm under the impression of like, you gotta know something about music, you gotta play an instrument, you gotta know somebody, you gotta do something with music. And it's like, at the end of the day, you don't have to start out that way in any way, shape, or form. But you do have to have like some type of rhythm or understand music, or like not just be a consumer of music to make music, in my opinion. So my brain is crazy, and it honestly works like there's no really set way. Like we could be sitting right here and I'll think of 3 words and write it in my notes and then come back to it later. I've written whole songs without a beat and then found the beat later. But I would say more often than not, I'll hear beats, which I'm always like stockpiling beats. But I'll hear beat and kind of just, as soon as I hear beat, I usually know like a direction I want to go. I might have like one line. I'm like, all right, put this over here, put it in my notes, come back to it, actually make a song later. There's real no method to the madness.
Not racing, I'm chasing. Bitch, I get the pricing. My pluggy through the pack, I caught that bitch like Derrick Mason. The blade on me like Jason. My shoes, my jelly Mason. These nigga bitches Caitlyn, my trap poppin' just like bacon. The apes are on me, baby. Bro, niggas gon' stay hatin'. I'm tryna run it up for Lil Ryan and Lil Nathan.
Probably like 6-7 years ago, no bullshit. Like one of my friends hit me up. Shout out my boy Freshie. Y'all hip to him, he's fire. He sent me a song just to hop on. I wrote a verse to it, didn't send it back to him in time. He put the song out with somebody else. And then one day I'm writing and like I can't think of anything. My mind is just blank. So I'm just like looking through my notes, trying to find old things. And I find this verse that I wrote for him and like just changed the flow a little bit and ended up making it into that song. I just want to be remembered as myself, as Bigfaceflex. I feel like that's all I strive to be in life. That's all I strive to do in life. So I just want people to see that, whatever that means. More so rather than myself, my goal with music and what I want, I don't really care if people remember me. I just want people to remember that like, whatever you want to do in your life, you can do that shit. Like fuck what your parents say, your teachers say, whoever says. If there's something that you care about, do that shit. Like if you got all these thoughts of why you can't do it, find a way to do it. That's really my only goal in life. Just do what sounds good to you. Like make music for yourself. Like don't try to like follow trends and make music like, oh, this song's gonna pop. Literally, if you like a song, then you're doing something right. Obviously, don't just blindly do that. Make the music for yourself, and then find ways to promote yourself. Is any way you can get your music in front of just one extra set of ears, do that shit. So I have a video that's coming out in the next like 2 weeks for a song that it's been out on I want to say Gone Fishing project I dropped a minute ago. It's actually already there yet, now that I think about it. I dropped it last December. Yeah, I have the video ready to go. I'm just honestly waiting for the day where I wake up and I'm like, today is the day. Yeah, I have a solo project called Muse. I'm not gonna get too much into it. Just know Bigfaceflex. It's gonna be like 20-some songs. It's gonna drop in September, probably towards the beginning of September. Yeah, it's gonna be fire.